my full poster. True story, Anthony Anderson stole mine with everybody's signature on it back in the day. I'll tell that story while we do the stream. Hi, everyone. I know it's Sunday. I don't usually do these on Sunday, but I'm trying to get into this week and get you guys into some things that you can do this week. So let's talk about it now. Oh, hey, look at my cup. I'm getting ready for Halloween. My hey boo. Hey boo, hey boo. And this is tea. I don't drink coffee. Hey. So stupid. Are you on an island in the Bahamas and that I can retire? If not, don't come in here talking that. You know, we got some stuff we got to do today. Hi, happy Sunday to everybody on here. It's crazy. I don't ever do these in the daytime, but I was like, you know what? I need to get these things out to the people and, you know, and get it off my chest earlier in the day. Hey everybody. I usually don't even do my lives this early. So I actually been up since like 6 a.m. today. So yeah, I've been up since like 6 a.m. and I went to church with my aunt. But I decided to do this one early so I can give the information. So obviously you can go into the week and, you know, start to do what you need to do. Okay? So I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Good afternoon. Good morning to whoever is in the morning time. I decided to do this one and I never do it like I scheduled it and I did a whole thing. I never do that. Why? Because I'd be like, yeah, they're going to be mad at me because my life will change in a heartbeat. And next thing you know, I can't do it, which actually did happen. I was supposed to do a live event Monday of last week. And you know what happened Monday of last week? Miss Scrappy, that's cute. Hi. You know what happened? I ended up with auditions, last minute auditions, and I couldn't even do it. So definitely don't want, you know, the people of TikTok, the TikTok gods to be mad. So we decided to schedule this one, and this one is, I want to talk on a gamut of things. I usually do my lives to talk about events, or I usually do lives to give you guys some tips. But, you know, I decided, oh, that's so funny. You want me? Oh, because somebody's bigging up my character in Rosewood. My character in Rosewood, Scrappy, was a teacher. So I got it. I see what you did there. But this one is really taking some time. Sorry if I'm me. Okay. So this one is really more because I want you guys to just understand from beginning to end. So anyone in here, you know, if you got some friends, let them know I'm going live now because we can really go through some things. Okay. So I talk about this a lot. I talk about, especially now, things have changed since COVID. Everything in the entertainment business is changed. I mean, everything has changed. But the blessing, amen, on this Sunday, is that you don't necessarily have to get your start in New York or LA You can be anywhere. And this is where we want to start, right? Because I really did think about what I was going to say today. Being in entertainment and also starting as a dancer, I try my best to take care of myself. So that's an ongoing thing that we all should be doing. We should be all trying to take care of ourselves. We should be all trying to eat right, keep the cholesterol down, do what we need to do. So now that we've got that out the way, okay, let's talk about what we're supposed to be talking about. So again, I've said this a lot. I'd be like, you guys are in a season of blessing anywhere you are from. I'm from Memphis, but if you are in whatever city, whatever state, you can start this journey of wanting to be in the business. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, when I say that doesn't mean sit on your butt. Okay? It doesn't mean sit on your butt. Because I have to think, I always talk about what I've done or what I know, not what I assume, because, I've done a lot. Amen. Okay. But what I did was get up. What I did was, okay, we're going to start from back when I was in college. Back when I was in college, which I went to college in Philadelphia on a full scholarship, I started to learn in the community of people. Again, this is a time when I was just doing musicals and things like that, and just as a dancer, trained dancer for a living. I was doing a lot more of that stuff. This light is super bright. Oh, hold on, about to drop something out. That's a little better. Anyway, but yeah, at the end of the day, I didn't sit on my butt, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Don't sit on your butts. I feel like even just from some of the talks I've had with people on here recently, you guys give me a sense that you want to do this. That should be, after you want to do it, figuring out ways to do it. Like, nothing in life is promised. Nothing in life is guaranteed. If you ain't doing something every day towards your goal, or if you haven't even, you're still at point one, and say you live in Alabama, okay, what you need to be doing is getting on the internet. But you're getting the knowledge of what to do when you do a scene. How do I break down a scene? It's an acting class. It's a class that's giving you structure. And I think the structure part is extremely important. Again, I'm going from A to beyond. So we're still at A. You have to be on the internet. You have to be Googling. You have to be tenacious. Okay? That doesn't mean sit on your butt and do nothing. Oh, I want to be in the entertainment business, and you don't do nothing about it. It's all up here. It's all up here. It's all up here. So my first thing to say in this live is get up. Do something toward it. So back what I used to do, Because again, you guys are blessed. You guys have the internet. You guys have TikTok. You guys have Instagram. Some of y'all do that Twitch. There's Facebook. Y'all got all that stuff. You guys have all of those things. So I don't understand why you're sitting around. Because you talk about a girl back in the day when we didn't have none of that stuff. So when I was in college, y'all, obviously I was in college in Philadelphia. And the other dancers shared with me things I didn't know. Things I didn't know, like, oh, there's a $3 train that could take us to New York so we could audition for musicals. I didn't know this. But you know what? I was present. And I was listening. And I was about that life. So yeah, that $3 when I was in college way back in the day, I mean, it was what it was. I may have just been eating sandwiches to go to New York for the day. I may have just been having a little bit of tuna or something for 3 or 4 days to make up for my train ride, my food in New York, and taking a taxi here and there to be able to audition. But that is my point of step one, where we're still at step one. The step one is doing what you need to do to get that advice, doing what you need to do, getting on the internet, not being afraid. I see it, and even some people on this. I've seen so many people even on this. I've talked to so many people. Y'all let the fear keep you from doing something, and that's not going to ever change if you don't just at least step out your comfort zone. We all love our comfort zone, but the comfort zone ain't making you the money you want to make, ain't making you ain't giving you the connections you need to have. It ain't doing nothing. So step one is stop waiting and stop saying, oh, I wanna, when all you got to do is open up your phone and find steps to do. I don't want to hear I don't wanna from nobody. I want to hear I'm doing. I'm in acting class. I'm auditing a class for free next week. I'm talking to some people who I know who know other people who are in New York or in LA. And I am gonna take my summer to go to New York next year. Or I'm gonna take my summer and go to LA next year. I'm gonna let's even put it in the middle. I'm gonna take a trip to Chicago because I heard there's a couple of agents out there. It has to be about the doing. And I think I'm saying I don't think I've talked about enough about this. So that's why I'm taking the time. You have to, first step first, somebody said you have to network. That is true. First things first is get up out of your own way. Because see, I know from talking to people, that's your first problem. Y'all are in your own way because you're not doing it. You're not making that step. Okay. So that's first step. Now, your second step is exactly what they just said. You do have to network. So again, like I said, I was living in Philly and going to college in Philly. Anytime I had saved up enough money, or my friends are sharing with me, because here's the thing, I wasn't familiar with the audition process in the beginning of my career. No one is really, really knowledgeable about any of that stuff until you're in it, if that makes sense. Amen. So yes, you do need to network. You need to see that there's other people around you that have similar goals. Because again, if somebody didn't tell me, and I'm just gonna keep it real, I'm so straight out of Memphis going to Philadelphia for the first time in my entire life. I don't even know that New York City is 30 minutes from Philadelphia back then. I didn't know that. But you know what? I was present. I had a community of other people who were in my class who were from Philadelphia or who were from that area, who knew all of the surrounding cities that I didn't know. So they let me know what I needed to do. So that is my point. Stop sitting around and waiting on something. And here's the thing, because I didn't know my connectors. So sitting in your circle of people that you talk to every single day, they may not be your connectors, and that's okay. But see, that's not on them. That's on you. That's on you to get out there and network, or DM 2 or 3 of your actors that you see are in your city, or DM 2 or 3 people in that connection. And then that's my next step. Where we haven't talked about this enough on this app. Should I say I haven't? You gotta have a resume, and you gotta get some type of stuff that people really high quality 2 or 3 scenes that you are the star of. 2 or 3 scenes on tape that you have that in that's going to be in an emailable form. Okay? Emailable form, 2 or 3 scenes that you are president in, like the star of, or very in all of the scenes, or in very, 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 like you got all the lines, or most of the lines. Don't be coming up there sending up people with, I'm talking, somebody said actors access, that's good, but we're not there yet. I'm talking about what you need to have. I think even before you even join Actors Access, you need to have 3 scenes on quality content. 3 scenes. Even if it's a stage play. If it's a stage play, it's got to be one of your family members or somebody that's got you like this. I don't need to see, and they don't want to see the whole stage. They want to see this. They want to see the acting coming from this. Okay, or even this. So you got to think about that and work on that first. You got to think and work on that first. And one of the things I shared, and I'll share again, is that what I did is in the beginning, I had a dance agent, but that wasn't helping me in the acting world. So once I made that switch, let's go back. Once I made that switch, yes, got a full scholarship. Oh, I've started the event. The event is starting. TikTok is funny. It says almost time for your event, and it is 12:20, and I'm already on the event. I'm already talking to y'all. But hey, we let them know we're doing the event. The event is now. The event is now. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it right, but whatever. I'm already on here. But yeah, you have to basically. There's ways, or again, email schools, email that the senior class. Almost every town has a department that does, like, for especially in colleges, that people are doing their senior thesis, if they are in the entertainment classes, that they're going to need actors for. So those were my first 2 tapes that I sent to try to get an agent. I had done 2 things on somebody's student thesis projects to graduate from that class. And what I was able to do was make sure that they knew that I was going to use these, and can I have the tape after. I feel like a lot of times people be afraid to ask for the tape. I don't know why. Because most of these things don't pay, or they pay very little. So the them, or you don't have anything good enough to show them. Y'all think these agents, that's what I'm saying. This is a real conversation, okay? Even to this day, I don't feel like my agent doing everything, which they're not. I do a lot of it. Because who better than me wants this to go well? And it's great if some people can find those people who do the most for them, even though they don't do anything for themselves. But I promise you, If it's not starting from you and what you really want to do, you got to be on 15. If you want your agent to be on 10, you got to be on 15. That don't even stop. That don't ever stop. I know some of you probably like follow a lot of actors or celebrities and stuff. That don't ever stop, y'all. You listen to these people, they'll tell you that don't ever stop. The world changes, trends of actors and what they want to see changes, all of those things. So you have to be your biggest cheerleader all the time. Y'all think, a lot of people think that having a agent, that they're going to do everything. That's not true. Because I'll even say this. And again, I'll say this. It's just a hypothetical. Say you started when you were 20. And you were 20 and you know, maybe, I'm just going to say it as a male because I know I'm just going to make a comparison. If you're a 20-year-old male and you want to be an actor and you started in this business and you basically just said, you know, I want to do this. So you're 20, right? And then say you've been doing this or whatever for 10 years. In 10 years, no shade. This is not talking about, I like to do a disclaimer because I know the internet. You know, this is not talking about anybody. This is just a hypothetical. You know, say in that 10 years you gained 35 pounds because life be lifing and you've just grown up and your body changed and you are this. And say you've decided you're going to have 4 kids and now you're married and all of those things. Your goals of what you wanted when you was 20 is probably not going to be the same as when you're 35. And if you don't look the same, it's all on us to tell people what we want, how we want it, what we want to do next, what is the next thing in our life. And again, when I was younger and just starting in this business, I obviously wasn't as vocal. So that's why I'm on here telling you what you need to do, because that is really what the keys are. You have to be just as vocal as anybody else to get to them damn goals. Okay. So then, okay. So now I write some notes because I know me. So then now, as I was mentioning, you have to do those emails. You have to set that up. How that is easy now is the fact that you can just email this stuff. Y'all, back in the day, what y'all don't, some of y'all so young, y'all, God bless y'all. There wasn't even any really emailable stuff that you could send. Okay? So, you know, I spent a lot of time at FedEx's. I spent a lot of times sending stuff in regular mail and then following up on the phone. Did y'all get it? All of that stuff. But honestly, even if you send stuff out via the mail, so basically what you should be sending via an email to a flood of places is a good headshot. We're going to go back in a minute about the headshot. A good headshot, a receptionist. 2-minute scenes of each. Don't send them all that stuff. They're not going to like it and they're going to be irritated. So don't do that. Send that. And you guys know how to do that on the internet. It depends on your device and phone. So I'm not going to tell you that. So you need to be able to email all of those things. I prefer to use like WeTransfer if it's a long thing. Things like that you can do it, but you need to send that picture. You need to send those 3 things, and you need to send them, and you can just go and not try at all. So I'm just saying, try, okay? Because you're not trying, and that's the problem. That's the problem. You're not trying. Again, you're not trying, and that is the problem. If you want to see what my next projects are while we're discussing this, just please be sure you're following me. I always post all my projects, okay? So this is my TikTok, so just follow the TikTok. It's going to tell you, okay? Because I've been talking about them. What else? So that's where we go from there. So girl, let's talk about this headshot. Girls, guys, let's talk about this headshot. You guys have no idea how important that headshot is. And I'll be honest, I've been one of those people who sometimes my so I'm going to paint a picture for you. And I know a lot of people remember Top Model or different things like that. But that is really pretty much like it is. They have that headshot of you like this. They have it on the table like this. And so there's going to be all these different people who they're considering with that headshot on the table. And some of y'all don't take that headshot serious. And y'all got a little crappy head. That looks good. Oh, what did they do? Oh my God. Yeah, they did do it. You got to have a good headshot. I know some of y'all don't take that seriously. So again, we're talking from the beginning. What do? We make sure we're connecting with people who are in our area. You can be in Mobile, Alabama, Connecticut, wherever you from. Philly, Orlando, Florida, wherever the heck you are. And side note, speaking of Orlando, Florida, if you were even in Florida and you're not in Miami, like my first job I did, first of all, that's a good one, but I'll say it, like Sequest DSV was my first TV show. Most of the other talent from. They're getting them close to area because one, that's going to be cheaper. Two, they don't have to fly anybody in. So don't feel like you gotta be in these areas. Make sure your stuff is on point. So wherever area you in. Yes, I have my Halloween mug. I'm just saying. Be sure your stuff is on point in the area that you in. Okay. So now we said that. Okay. So then let's talk about this. There's a few things that went by here, but and again, I'll say this. It's not disrespectful if you tell me I'm beautiful. I'm trying to allow myself, thank you. I'm trying to allow myself to stay on track, okay? That's all. I'm trying to stay on track. I personally think I have, well, I shouldn't say think. I know I have more to offer than my looks. I know this. So anyway, so let's go back to after I moved from Philadelphia from college, and then I moved to New York after college. Again, you don't necessarily have to in on Boomerang. True story. I was Robin Givens standing on Boomerang. That was really the first time I learned about a set. And I'm still grateful to this day for that experience. One is, it's so crazy to be in those spaces and really learn about the business, and then all of a sudden realize that everybody was short like me. Because, you know, Robin Givens was doing her thing back in the day, and she probably still is. And I apologize, I don't know what she's doing now. She probably is doing something that maybe I just don't know. I'm sorry. But again, I say that to people because it's like, it's so many streaming platforms. There's so many platforms now. A lot of your favorites are working. It's just not on ABC, CBS. Okay. They probably on Netflix or something else. Oh, she's directing. Great. So, hey, what's up, Brooklyn? But yeah. So I'm grateful to this day because it's about getting in the rooms and learning, because I didn't know anything about being on a set. This was back when I was still doing musicals for a living. This was back when I was doing all the little industrials and stuff as a dancer, as a off-Broadway entertainer, as an entertainer. I wasn't in the know. But being blessed with that, and I think, I can't even remember how I ended up in that zeitgeist. But one of my friends from way back in the day named Ivelka, shout out to Ivelka. Ivelka's boyfriend at the time was a huge record producer. So even back before I wanted to be an actress, I was going to all the A-list things like, y'all, my point is, I was like a perfect match to play her, be her stand-in. And that's when I learned like stage left, stage right. You know, I'm still doing it now. Because this is stage left, because the side that you're standing on, meaning toward camera. So this is stage left, even though it's really the right. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is I learned all that stuff being her stand-in. And then I was able to like see her talking with Eddie and see them discussing how they were going to do scenes and see how that whole process was. Oh, okay, so there's a lunch at this time, there's this, like, basically I'm saying take the steps so you can learn it the right way. So, okay, now you have all your stuff. Now you can go out and try to get that agent. And hopefully you get that yes, or someone who wants to work with you. Maybe they don't want the whole thing in the restaurant, and she went off. Grace Jones' character went off. Strong J went off in the restaurant and said all that stuff, and then Robin and Eddie walked out, and then they walked out to the street. Child, it was like 15 degrees in New York. Guess who had to go out there and walk out in the street? Walk out in the street and mark all the spots for the limo, and when she was going to go into the limo, and how that camera angle was. Guess who? Me out there in that cold. Me out there. That was me out there in that cold. Marking all the spots and stuff. Obviously they put me a freaking jacket. Every day, y'all, they went over it. So as an actor, I know I always like to try to explain stuff. As an no, I don't know if you're an actor or not, so I can't have you join. Now, what are you asking me? Somebody asked me, was I standing long periods of time? Yes, I was standing long periods of time. Yes, some scenes. So keep in mind, I worked on that movie as a stand-in probably 3 weeks, almost a month. So there was 1 or 2 days that I have to stand for a long time. Now, when they say stand in, and then you're just sitting down. You're just sitting down. So when they're actually filming with the stars of the show or movie, you're just having a seat or a snack in the back. And then when they're getting ready to start another scene that they need to set up the camera angles, the lighting for it, all of those things, that's when they call you, hey, come on, we need you because we need to set this up. So the actors go and they change or take a break or whatever. And then that's when just your time to shine. That's when you get up, you stand there and you let the camera operators and the lighters and everybody set the shot up. So that's what your role is. You help set up the shot. So then the actors, when they come in and they have their outfit change and everything, so then they know where to stand. That's what a stand-in is. It's not that you stand the whole time. Now there's, let's be real. You guys see a lot of movies and TV. If you see stuff that people are like walking by, right? That's a lot of walking. You're in the scene where you got to walk back and forth. Yeah, you're going to have to stand up and walk back and forth. But you're not doing it for free. You're not doing it for free. If you're in the union, those jobs, again, I don't know because I haven't done stand-up work in a long time, but those jobs you get paid for the day. You get paid for the day. And it's not peanuts. You get a decent job, a decent stand-in, again, if you're in the union. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, get in that union. You're going to get paid for the day. And if they go over, that's more money. And so I did the boomerang, like I said, at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I did good from back in the day. It was good. I don't remember exactly, but I know it was more than $2,000 to $3,000 at least, which ain't bad for 8 hours sitting around getting some connections. But again, I'm grateful for it because that's how I learned. Like I said, stage left, stage right. Oh, this is what they do on sets. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay. It's about moving forward. Moving forward. Okay. Yeah, so okay, everybody wants to know again about this agent. Do you need an agent to join SAG? So those are two different things. I just saw that question. Those are two different things. Basically, you need, first of all, what do we say? We need those 3 tapes. We need a great headshot, and we have already done our emails out to get the agent. Emails out. See, some people would meet you in person. Don't be afraid to call the number. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. You ain't gonna get nowhere in this life if you're sitting around and feel like you can't speak for yourself. Say what you want. Say it with your chest. If you want to do this, you're going to have to stand up for yourself all the time. To this day, I got to stand. I got to fight. I got to fight. What more do you want from me? I got to fight for it. You can't just sit down. Oh, my God. It's, it is that, So, yeah, it's about my point is, if you live in a smaller town, what's stopping you from saying, hey, this weekend, I just want to go up to where, LA for the day, or for this weekend, for this weekend, I'm going to take the train to New York City. For this weekend, I'm going to do, and set it up. Don't just go, but set it up. You've already done some calls. You've already done some things. And I'm not going to tell you to be bold enough to pop up at somebody's office, but I might just call if I'm in the city and be like, well, I would love to stop by. Do you accept? Because a lot of these people don't accept them. If I stop by with my headshot and resume, do you accept them? And then a lot of these people will tell you when you call, or it'll be on their front door. Like, we don't accept them. If you put the mail, they're going to throw it away. People are weird. Okay. So, but you still have to just be sure you check. But it's not anything, that you shouldn't do. Like, even if I was trying to be in musicals, I would probably pop up on 1 or 2 musicals and be like, hey, let me know if you need any extra people, or you need somebody to be part of the team if somebody, gets sick or something. Like, you gotta push yourself. And I know the economy is trash. Okay, I know. Economy is trash. But it's about, let me say that little $50 and $50 and $50 and $50 and $50. Yes, advocate for yourself. That's what I'm saying. Save my little $50, $50 till you get that $400 or whatever it's going to take. Take that cheapest train ride or cheapest plane and take your butt there for the day. You can do a day trip. If you don't want to pay for a hotel, you can do a day trip. You can have a flight from any of these cities that leave at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's obviously on a day that, that you have that time, and spend a whole 7-8 hours there, and then take a flight back at night, or the train back at night. What's keeping you from doing it? I don't like people who complain and don't do anything. And you shouldn't do that to yourself, because it just doesn't make sense when you can try. Okay? I'm just saying. Sound is gone. My sound is gone? Is my sound gone, y'all? Somebody said my sound is gone. Hold on. No, my sound is up. Oh, somebody said that. That's weird. So, okay. Y'all can hear me. Okay. They scared me for a little bit. I was like, what happened? But you guys know what I'm saying, right? Yes, you have to advocate for yourself. Thank you for telling me that you can hear it. Somebody said they were mad they couldn't get to the what? Okay, thank you. Somebody was saying the sound is gone. They threw me off. So okay, cool. I just really feel like that's the biggest thing. I keep overemphasizing it because I've talked to people. I see people all the time like, I wanted to do it. I still want to do it sometimes. Y'all, do y'all know that Samuel L. Jackson, who I don't know well, but I know him a little bit. Samuel L. Jackson started his career like 35 in the entertainment business. He was doing some, stuff in New York, but he was known by the time he was like 40. He's like one of the most highest paid actors right now. It's not about the age, because they love that. It's not about that. It's about what you gonna do. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because look, and I say this too. I'm talking to me and I'm talking to y'all. Because the economy is, like I said, trash. So what are you gonna do? You gonna sit over there and want to do something, or you gonna try to make something happen that's gonna bring in more revenue, and you're gonna feel better about yourself because now you're doing something that you've always wanted. And that's what I say. Even on my worst days, it's something I've always wanted. So even if I'm in like about the industry and the changes, but this is something I've always wanted. I'm doing something I always wanted, and that's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel like you're doing something you always wanted. So somebody said, was I in Malcolm and Eddie? The TV show Malcolm and Eddie. You know what? And that's so sad about Malcolm Jamal Warner. Whew! This world can be crazy, right? And I feel like we're never going to really know what happened that day. And I guess that's okay. We're just going to have to live with that. We can't know everything. But I don't think I was. Getting back to Malcolm Jamal Warner and Malcolm and Eddie, I don't think I was. If I was, best, biggest agent you can. That's where I messed up. The best, biggest agency that'll take you, that's who you need to be with. Again, that's where I messed up. I know people be wondering and stuff. That's where I messed up. So here's a little bit of a story time. And again, we have jumped. I'll save the story time for a little bit. I'll wait, my bad. I'll wait for the little story. Because y'all, especially now, again, we're going to talk about now. And somebody said, do tell. I'm going to tell. But it has become so about who you're with. Back when I first started, who you're with as an agency. Back when I started, it wasn't about what agency you were with. It was about how much work you had done. And the biggest thing that people love to say about me in the beginning of my career, I had 3 studio movies that I was in like 6 months. But again, that was the whole thing, because I was in big movies. I was in Rosewood. I was in Money Talks, which was #1 at the box office, tied with Striptease, I think. You know what I'm saying? And I had a hit TV show right after. So I was doing big things like that, crashing together. So it was more so at the time, like what you were doing, Now it is obviously the work, but just as important, what agency you're with. Okay, so here's the story time. So we're going to go back to when I was doing this movie right here. This one right here. We were doing Hustle and Flow. And so we got Hustle and Flow. God rest John Singleton. Everybody's like passing. John Singleton, who was my mentor, God rest his soul. Gosh, I do miss him every day because we used to have like funny conversations about the businessy and stuff. But anyway, so he was the producer of Hustle and Flow, and he introduced the director Craig Brewer from Memphis, Tennessee, to the world. And so we had a big thing at the Sundance Film Festival. Everybody was talking about this movie, Hustle and Flow, about a pimp and all this stuff. And it really was one of the first urban films that was embraced so wholeheartedly, and we won the Audience Award. Audience Award at the Sundance Film Festival is the biggest award you can win at the Sundance Film Festival. And all of the studios wanted Hustle and Flow. All of the studios they were trying to get John to sell the movie to them. And baby, everybody wanted it. It was a bidding war. It was so great. It was crazy. We were all so proud. It was all. So at the same time, there was a huge agent at ICM. ICM, I don't even think ICM exists anymore. Damn shit has changed. Everybody had merged together. ICM used to be like the second largest agency out there in the US. And so that agency wanted me to go be represented by them. They wanted Taraji to go be represented by them, and they wanted Terrence to go and be represented by them. So we all knew this, right? Me, Terrence, and Taraji, we all knew this. And I remember, because Sundance was a vibe. We got all this free stuff. They gave us free fur coats, free phones, free everything. Like, it was crazy. So I'm talking to Terrence. We had just came from a T-Mobile gifting suite, and they gave us all. If y'all know the flip phone, not the flip phone, the sidekick. That's what it was. The sidekick. Y'all remember that sidekick? I love the sidekick. That was cute. They had given us all sidekicks, and me and Terrence was sitting out in the side, and we was gossiping and talking about how everything was going, and we were so happy, and boom, boom, boom. And I was like, hey, so what are you gonna do about this agent thing? Are you gonna just drop your agency? And this is me. Like, I didn't want to drop my agency. It's been going good. I don't want to drop them. Terrence was like, I'm dropping mine. I'm dropping it. That's a big agent, Elise. I'm dropping it. I gotta move. To make a long story short, Terrence literally threw his old phone in the trash. Got the people from T-Mobile to help him put together the new phone so it could work and change the number and all that stuff. And then Taraji and him went to ICM. I didn't. I was like, oh, I like my agent. It's going good. It was too. But see, things change. And then it became a swift about what that big agent can get you that this smaller agent can't get you. And I hadn't put those two things together because I was working so much. And now I go, that was the switch. And I know if you remember back in the day, for a long time, Terrence and Taraji did every little project together. They was hosting stuff together. They was on Empire together. It was why? Because they had the same agent over at ICM. And I was stupid, but also at that moment, not knowing how that was going to affect things later, because we don't have crystal balls. So that's why I'm here to say now, you have to, once you get popping, believe in yourself, or don't be afraid to make that big move and go on and get with that big agency. Because if that big agency wants you, they can change your life in different ways that the small agency can't, especially now. Okay? So I just had to make sure that I got that out. So y'all, we need you to do all of these steps. We need you to be in schools or auditing classes for free. I know it's expensive, so always look, just research and get a free class you can audit, okay? That's what you need to do. Do it. 2 is looking at these college students and getting them to be able to give you a tape of their of whatever scenes or whatever that you did in their movie, so that you can have good tapes and you can go out there and get an agent. We need you to make sure you have a high quality, high profile, not your sister taking the picture, that you went and had a good photographer do a great headshot, and you need to be sending that out, sending it out. Oh, great example. Thank you. I guess you talk about my true life story. And you know, I mean, I love my career. My career is still blessed. But again, there's levels. And at that time, I wasn't thinking about the levels. I was just happy and I was working so much. I really did not have time to even think about nothing. But yeah. So you really have to think about all of those levels and try to have foresight that bigger agency is going to help you better than the smaller agency. So I encourage you to do all of the things. Once you get that one project that you are popping on, that everybody's talking about, and it blew up on social media, and again, now it doesn't have to be something from ABC, NBC, whatever that project is that blows you up, you need to go out there and you need to find a high profile agent. Somebody asked me, do I have a mentor? I have, well, my sister's, even though that's my sister, she's still kind of like a mentor to me. But yeah, so those are the things. So as I mentioned, I don't know if they are. I think that agency as a whole does not even exist anymore. So I have no idea where they are now. And so maybe you missed the first part of it. I don't see your name. But yes, acting classes are extremely helpful. I am not of the school of acting classes don't help. Everybody's different, but we're on my live and I'm telling you, acting classes really do help. Okay. There's the help of being on a set so that you know what to do and how to behave, because a lot of people don't even know how to behave. Okay, so you need to know how to behave on a set. Yes, they're gonna tell you to turn your phone off, so you can't be looking at them sideways talking about how you're not gonna turn it off. So yes, you're gonna have to turn your phones off on sets. Why? Because the feedback interferes with everything. And you know, your sister may call you in the middle of the day and the phone gonna ring. And then now you're on $1 million set, $1 million a day set, and you're the reason why they gotta start from scratch and waste time and waste tape and all those things. It ain't just about you, okay? So that's first thing you need to be remembering. You know, you're on somebody else's set. That's not about you. That's not on your regular time frame in life. So again, think about all this before you want to do this, okay? Because they're going to tell you to turn that phone off and you got to turn it off. So be sure you then talk to your people and be sure you don't have crazy people in your life who don't understand, okay? Because that is part of the job. Phone has to go off. You turn the phone back on at lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? Or if they're doing some like things before they start filming, before you hear rolling, you can have the phone on, but your phone got to be off. Okay, so that's another one. But yes, doing the acting classes definitely helps. And here's the easiest examples why. Every day when you wake up, you may not be in the best mood, and you are auditioning and or now hired for a comedy. You just had a fight with your boyfriend or your husband or whoever, and you still got to go to set. Where you pulling that comedy from, child? Where? You better have some type of tools to get your mind right really quickly so that you can still perform. I'm just saying. And then also, say you have like really hard scenes that are just emotional and all of those things, like hella emotional scenes. Where are you pulling that from? How are you going to get there in 5 minutes to show that? What tools do you have that in that moment when you're supposed to cry? Oh, did I get advice from Eddie? No, I didn't. He was busy working. I was just a stand-in. No, I didn't get advice from him. But where are you going to pull that emotion? In 5 minutes on the set. And action. And you're supposed to be crying. Where is that coming from? I'm just saying. It helps you with they teach you things. Helps you, show you how you can get there, or help you tone out the noise. You've had so much rehearsal that you know how to tone out the noise of everything going around you to perform. Yes, you need the acting classes, okay? You need them. And again, like I said, I'm just giving you some cheat code. You can call, I'm just going to make up a name for an acting school. Shoe company, okay? I'm just making it up. So you can call shoe company acting school tomorrow and be like, hi, how are you? I'm a new actor, and I really want to audit your class. When you say audit, that means just sit in the class. I really want to audit your class. I'm not sure where I want to go yet, but I really just want to audit. Can I audit? All audits are free 99, baby. Free 99. Sit there for free for 3 hours, 2 hours, and you can get some of that knowledge. And hey, rinse and repeat. Next week, be like, I'm still like searching for the perfect class, and go do a whole different class for free. And then go do a whole nother different class for free. You know what I'm saying? Go to mine. I don't have an acting school. So I hope somebody ain't out here lying. I don't have an acting school. I hope somebody's not on the internet lying. I don't have an acting school. What else? Any other questions at this juncture? Oh, somebody said, yeah, that is some free game. Because I promise you, I've done it. Back in the day, okay, so we talked about it. I lived in Philadelphia for college. Then I moved to New York. And I lived in New York and was doing musicals. And if you old school, you've seen some of the music videos I've done from back in the day. And all the things in the dance world I've done back in the day. And one Broadway show. But then I moved to LA. And another fun fact about connecting. One of my favorite guys, friends in New York, who was Brian was his name. And Brian was going out to LA for the summer. And like I said, y'all, I don't say something that I ain't done. So I was curious about LA. This is after I had done like a few commercials. And I was making good money doing commercials. That's another outlet. Also, SAG commercials. That's what I'm saying. That's where the money's at. I made so much money doing commercials. I need to get back into it. But they tell me they don't make as much money as they used to. But I made so much money. I think in 1 year I made like $150,000 that year off of commercials alone, which is good. We're talking a long time ago. Okay. So now I wonder why it's telling me to go live when I'm live. Ain't that weird? I don't be knowing what's going on with TikTok. I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah, so that's another avenue. But be sure you join the union so you make good money and revenue off those commercials. That's another good revenue stream as a beginning actor. But be sure you join SAG first. Would I do a reality show? I've already done one, but I actually have one in the works. And what's in the works would be something I'm producing. Because, baby, I would never do another reality show that I'm not the producer of. What else? And yeah, I still dance for my own. Somebody asked me, did I dance? Yeah, I still dance for me. I dance to try to, keep in shape. But I have not done another musical, but that is on my bucket list. I want to do another musical before I can't move my legs. That would be fun. And okay, so we said that Blackhampton. So, oof, child. Y'all see what's going on over there. If y'all saw Fat Joe's podcast, and they were talking about how BET is just canceling things. And that has to do with what's going on with administration. We're just going to say that. Not BET administration. I'm talking about the U.S. administration. So they're just canceled the BET Hip Hop Awards, and they canceled the Soul Train Awards, y'all, indefinitely. It's a lot going on with that network right now. Because it's part of that whole, and if you haven't looked at it, you need to just maybe do a Google search. Like all of this buy into Viacom and all of that, and Paramount Plus. Just do a Google search. This is not, I don't use my platform to talk about politics, because I already know what's going on, but so anyway, but yeah, so my friend Brian was spending the summer in LA. Again, connections. Spending the summer in LA, and he was like, and he was like, hey, you want to come out here for a couple weeks to check it out? I said, yeah. Okay. I got my little money from my little, my commercials and stuff, honey. I'm like, yeah, I'll come out there. So I don't know if y'all remember, I did a lot of commercials. Back in the day. The biggest one is I did 5 to 6 commercials for Nike, which was amazing. And I love basketball, and I booked this one where I was pretending to cut hair in the barbershop with all of the fine ass basketball players back in the day. That was like the best job ever. All I had to do was sit there in the back, pretend like I was cutting hair, wasn't doing crap, wasn't doing nothing. And honey, it was all the hotties, okay? It was Chris Webber, whoever was hot back in like the 90s. It was like Chris Webber, and Dennis Rodman was one of the biggest basketball players ever. It was a lot of them. So I did like 6 of those, and that's where I made all that money from. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much everything. So you was just watching all of us. What platform were you watching it on? Let me know so I can make sure they send me my check. Side note, that's why I'm always talking about the Screen Actors Guild. I know y'all hear this about, I'm drinking 2 different things. I'm drinking the tea and I'm drinking water. I know y'all hear actors talking about residuals, meaning money that you make when your project is shown over and over again. You can't get that when you're doing these non-union jobs. Okay. Think about this stuff, y'all, is all I'm trying to say. Yeah, you've got to, like I just told everybody, please follow me. Follow me here so you can look at this. You'll look at my page and you'll see what we're working on. Okay, that would help me out so much. Just follow, then you'll know. so I don't have to waste the time here. But yeah, at the end of the day, Brian, I keep going back. I know. See, this is why I don't read the comments. People be like, "How come you didn't answer me?" And I'm like, "This is why I don't read the comments, because then I get off track." Okay, so Brian was going to LA for the summer. I was like, "Yeah, I'll come out there for a couple of weeks and see what's going on." And y'all, I slept on their couch because hey, I'll be about that life. If I want to do something, if I'm trying to do something, especially back then, I don't care if I sleep on your couch. I got goals to chase. I got things to do. You can never be so prideful, because guess what happened? I was out there. I was connecting. I was doing a lot of things. Just being in the right places. And, I went to the Academy of Dramatic Art for the summer program while I was out there. And I had already been taking acting classes in New York too. But I was at the Academy of Dramatic Art. Somebody said eating Pollo Loco. I mean, I used to love Pollo Loco. I haven't had it in a while. Anyway, so I went out there for the summer, enrolled in the Academy of Dramatic Art so I could really know what the hell I was doing, even though I'd already taken some small acting classes. And guess what? That acting class and stuff helped me get my stuff together. And while I was in LA, I auditioned for a soap opera. That soap opera filmed in New York at the time. And as God is good on this Sunday, I booked it. And then that was my first regular role as an actress for a whole year. Was playing Janie on a soap opera called Loving. That soap opera doesn't exist anymore, but yeah. That's like my biggest first 1 year credit. I worked on a soap opera for 1 year. So again, it's about connecting, right? It's about being open and available to projects and letting the universe go teach you where to go. Oh, somebody saying they went to Juilliard. I know that's right. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. So again, we were just talking about, hey, so let's go back to the BET, but I was just talking about it. I think some people are just coming in here. So BET is, it's they're figuring it out. So again, I am not a producer of the Black Hamptons, y'all. I'm not. I'm just an actor on the show. So whatever decision making is not coming from me. It's coming from networks, powers that be, and all the other things. I'm just on it. So, again, I'm sitting there saying, like, the BET is in that tailspin of what is going on with Viacom and Paramount Plus, and it's all just, they're cutting things left and right. So I'm not a part of that decision making. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they have the budget for it. I don't know. Listen, dude. Somebody said it's a mess. It is. It is a mess. It is. Listen. And again, I'm not a producer on it, so I don't make those decisions. I just act on it. If those producers want to take that and figure it out, or maybe I don't know what their deal is. Again, I'm not a producer, and they want to maybe try to do something. I don't know. But if they couldn't, listen, we're not dumb, right? So if they're cutting the That's on y'all, child. Like I don't know. Again, I don't care about nothing. This is gonna sound harsh. I don't care about nothing that I'm not gonna get money from. So if Tyler Perry or whoever has decided to purchase it, that money not coming to me. I worry about what I can control and getting my own bag. You know what I'm saying? I was literally just telling somebody this other day because that's the thing about me. I don't talk about my own personal wealth. I talk about my own personal journey and my own personal achievements. Because I try my best. I want to be known for my achievements. That's the best way to say it. And that's the truth. I want to be known for my achievements. I want to be known for the work I've done. I want to be known for the joy I've been able to give people or that. I don't want to be or whatever. I have a Kerry Washington approach. Kerry Washington got kids and everything else. You barely see her husband and you never see her kids. Okay? Why? Because she knows her work stands on its own. Okay, so I like my work to stand on its own. But those are the real tips I want to give out today and really share with you guys today, and make sure that you guys understand that it comes from you. You got to get out there. If you're in Alabama, if you're in Vermont, if you are in Virginia, if you ain't nothing gonna happen, and they shoot a lot in Virginia too. If nothing gonna happen if you're sitting on your ass, okay? Nothing gonna happen if it's a shoulda, coulda, wouldas, okay? And again, I'm speaking for myself because there's still other things I need to do. But even once you get an agent, thinking that the agent got to do everything, who want it better than you? So somebody says I look familiar, and they're on my page, and it's a picture of me, and it says my name. Y'all be making me laugh. I love it. I love it. I love TikTok. Cast. They are submitting you before you know about it, and help you get seen. But they're going and doing that for all of their clients, and then they're telling you what it is. So yeah, they deserve their 10% if they're doing it, but they do take 10%. It's what else? But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I've done really well for myself, and I'm very proud of my work and everything. wanted that part in Logan, but I got it. But I did audition for it. But yeah, I don't feel like you should ever be. See, this is what I'm talking about. Don't ever. Minutes on the Black Hamptons. So what else? I guess that's pretty much it. But be sure you study, or hey, like I said, I used to do that all the time. I probably did that. I'm gonna keep it real. Probably for 3 weeks straight, three to 4 weeks straight. I would audit a class for free and be like, "That was so great, thank you. I'll let you guys know if I want to, be full time." Then go to another class. That was so great, thank you. I'll let you know if I want to be there full time. If I want to pay. And just keep rinse and repeat. I did that like about 4 times until I think I booked something, and then I had the money to pay for class. And by the time I went to LA and slept on my friend's couch for 2 months, because I'm about that life to try to get what I need. And then I ended up booking that show while I was living on the couch for 2 months just for the summer. You just got to get up. You got to make some stuff happen. And then I went back to New York and did the soap opera for a whole year that I booked in LA while I was sitting on somebody's couch for the summer. But you have to think of it this way. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Every action gets a positive reaction. I said, this is what I want to do. So I booked the ticket and I went there and I did what I needed to do while I was there. That got a positive reward. I'll just jump back over the place with one more story before I go. I said I auditioned for Scream 2, right? I had been auditioning for, I forget the name of the production company that did Scream 2. Damn. I'll look it up after this and put it on be sure you're following. I'm going to put it on my story after this, okay? So I auditioned for Scream 2, but before I auditioned for Scream 2, I was auditioning for that production company a lot and getting called back, but never getting the job. Probably at least 2 or 3 times, 2, 3, 4 times. Still wasn't getting the job. But I get a call from castings who were casting Scream 2, and they just offered it to me. Why? Because they had been seeing me. They had been seeing me and waiting for the right role. So when I ended up getting Scream 2 playing Neve Campbell's roommate, Hallie, that wasn't written for a black woman. They were like, this is the one to finally give her. And that's how I got Scream 2. I had been auditioning. Up. It's important to show up. And then I ended up getting it.